Hey there, everyone. This is Tisha, and welcome to today's at-home session. Let's see here. I got Instagram trying to get going as well. Okay, so I'll stall for a few seconds to wait for these connections to all get going. I hope everyone's doing okay out there. So today I'm going to be talking about tips on creating a healthy home. Our home is so much a part of our health. It's a mirror of ourself and our health. And so as we make positive changes to our home, we can have positive changes to our life. Hold on, let me see if I can get a better connection on Instagram. Hold on 1 second. Let's try this again. All right, so looks like some folks are joining in, so let's get going here. Most of you, if you're tuning in, you know that that spaces is my forte. Hey there, Maria. Thanks for joining. And so much of what I help people with is making changes in your home, and it just mirrors with your life. So what a great time to focus on that while we're all home. And I also want to announce the re-release of my book, Mind, Body, Home. And at the end of today, I'm going to be giving away a copy. So hang tight. That is coming. Very excited about this. This is actually the second book that I released in 2012, but it was the first book that I ever started writing, and I do consider it kind of my baby. It kind of is secretly my favorite. And now it has a facelift, an upgrade, updates, so I'm very excited about that. All right, so if anyone has any questions, thanks, Maria. About this smudge spray. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that and how space clearing can be a part of a healthy home. So today I'm going to talk about the health gua, the part of your home that represents your health, and how to kind of give it a boost, and then other grounding techniques that you can do in your home, space clearing, and kind of the best methods for where we're at right now. And then can't tell, it looks like my Instagram, I can't tell what's going on with it. It looks like there's some issues. Let's try that. Okay, all right, that's better for my Instagram people. Hello and welcome. Today I'm talking about healthy homes and how we can boost our immunity through our home. Okay, so our home is simply a mirror for ourselves. All of our patterns, all of our health, all of our success, all of our relationship things, everything is found in our home. And so as we make these changes in our home, it can directly impact us in those areas that correlate with those areas of the home. So we're all home, like, why not, right? This is the time. Maria says, yeah, this is so important. Yeah, thank you for acknowledging that, Maria. And I know for some of you, I'm just preaching to the choir, but it's always good to have reminders. I've had to do my own reminders and boost my own health corner, or my health section of my home. So it's I say Feng Shui is an ongoing lifestyle. It's not a one-time application, because life circumstances change, and so now health is is really big, obviously, for the collective right now. Well, sorry, my Instagram Instagram is just not going to work today. So, all right, we'll just have to make do with that. So it's all you, Facebook. And like I mentioned, I'm going to be giving away a copy. Actually, I'm going to give away 3 copies today. Okay, so stay tuned for how to get a copy shipped directly to your door from Amazon. All right, so let's talk about the section of your home that represents health. And that is in the very, very center of your home. So you don't have to be a Feng Shui, master to figure this out. Okay, so or the Bagua Map. It's called the Bagua Map in Feng Shui, and it's basically a tic-tac-toe board that's overlaid over your floor plan. But all you need to know for today and to boost your health is the center of your home. Okay, the very center of your home. Think about where that would be, and it doesn't have to be exact. Okay. Thanks for the tip, Maria. It sounds like Instagram's having some problems. I know it was having problems yesterday too, so good to hear it's not just me. All right, so the very center of your home, that is where the health is. That's the area of the house that represents our health. And so that's the area to look for in boosting, obviously, health. All health is immunity. And it's one of the things that this pandemic has brought to our awareness is really our health and preventative medicine. And really what preventative medicine is immunity and boosting our immunity. That's really there's things, drugs and treatments and whether alternative or Western medicine we can take after we get sick, but clearly the best medicine is preventative medicine. And so in your home, the very, very center of your home. And so this section, and it could be a hallway, it could be a staircase, it could be any room. It doesn't really matter the function of the room. Okay, regardless, it represents your health. And so the element that's associated with this section is the earth element. All right, so I'm going to kind of school you a little bit in Chinese medicine because what I'm going to be talking about with Feng Shui is the same concepts and principles that we talk about in Chinese medicine. All right. And so, for example, when you get acupuncture, you're balancing out your 5 elements within your body. Our body is a little micro universe, microcosm, as is your house. Okay. And so in the very center of your house is the health gua, and that is the earth element. All right. And so I'm going to tell you what the earth element is and things that you can put in your health section to help boost your health, okay? So the earth element is obviously very grounding. It's the grounding element. And that is so crucial for our health. And think of our immunity, feeling grounded, and think about how much we're not grounded, at least in the mind. The home itself is a whole archetype, is actually the earth element. It's like a container, and it contains us, keeps us safe and protected. But within the home, the very center, and so the earth element, making the shape, and it's which is a square, and the shape associated with the earth element is a square or rectangle. And think about how grounding that shape is with the 4 corners. And so that's your first clue of what an earth element, representation of an earth element is anything square or rectangle. But you can think of earth elements as far as the United States, anything from the Southwest. So adobe, clay, tile, terracotta, anything basically made of dirt, okay, in any form that it comes in. Terracotta, planters. I have just a big clay pot in my health section because the earth element is also represented by containers, because the earth element is a container. It's like the archetype of the mother, holding, containing, keeping us safe, protected. So containers, but specifically if you have any that are made of terracotta and clay, put that. It can have a plant in it, and that's fine. But we're really going for that container and and ideally in a clay form. Okay, so if you happen to have something like that sitting around, most people find that they actually intuitively already have something like that in the section, or maybe it's in another section. You can just trade things around. A lot of times working in our home and rearranging is kind of like building a puzzle. It's like finding where the puzzle pieces fit. Sometimes you realize you already have them in place, and that's really cool. So grounding earth elements right in the center of your home, okay? And then earth tones. So colors, when we work with the elements, we're working with the shape and with the colors, and then the literal form of them as well. So earth elements would be square or rectangle. The shape would be the shape would be square or rectangle. The colors would be earth tones. So again, think of the Southwest United States. So you have your browns, oranges, golds. All right. Any of those in that color scheme works really well in the earth, as an earth element in the health section. All right. So I'm repeating myself a little bit just because I know some folks are joining in late. So I just want to get everything clear and make it as simple as possible, because the elements can be pretty confusing. So I want to keep it as simple as possible, because it doesn't need to be confusing. And so, but I am going to add another layer to this. The elements work as a cycle, and so the element that supports health is fire. Okay, so the fire creates earth, and so the fire and earth are really friendly, and so adding fire elements to that section would also be an option. And so the fire element would be reds. Think of fire. So candles. If you have a fireplace in the center, that's great. But red, the shape would be triangle. Okay, so now you have fire and earth that you can add to the center of your home, and this boosts your health. It boosts your immunity. The fire actually boosts your life force energy. Okay, the fire element represents kind of our light within, our energy force, our light force, kind of like a shot of B12, basically. All right. And then there's one other element that you could add in that section, and that would be metal, the metal element. So fire, earth, and metal, probably in the order of, I would go with earth first, fire second, and then metal third. Okay, and metal. Think about, all this is related. Like in Chinese medicine, think about what is the preventative medicine for colds and flus and things like that. Metals, so like zinc, colloidal silver, mineral supplements, and that's the case also in our health health gua. So metal elements helps, because think about, so you have dirt. Let's say you're planting, you have dirt, but think about, you don't want just any dirt. You want dirt that's minerally rich, right? And so this is why we add metal with our earth as well. And so the metal element can literally be things made of metal. There's lots of metal that shows up in our decor. And you could also, in its color, would be metallic colors. It could also be white, the color white, gray as well. Okay. So just as a review, earth elements first, which is terracotta, earth tones, things made of clay, things made of dirt, things that are shaped like a container. Second would be fire, reds, anything fiery that boosts the life force energy. And then metal elements as a supplement. Think of literally as a supplement, like if your home is needs a prescription. And this also carries over into foods as well. If you think about it, I'm not food is not really my specialty, but it's easy to apply the same principles of Chinese medicine to our food that we do in the home. And so with earth elements, it would be very grounding foods, like root vegetables, potatoes, squashes, carrots, and those types of foods would be very grounding. Okay, so that's a pretty good summation of the health gua right in the center of your home. And then I wanted to touch on some other ways of boosting boosting your health using your home. These are a little more simplistic, and I'll spare you with more elements for now. But one thing that I found to be extremely grounding that you can do in your home is actually putting your focus on the floors. So in terms of, so whether it's vacuuming or sweeping, Swiffering, mopping, anything having to do with the floor, really has a grounding element to it, okay? And the more you add your intention while you're doing any of these activities or adjustments, that much better. So as you're vacuuming the floor, just think about grounding into the earth. Okay, you could even visualize, sweeping up, any negative energy that's perhaps been around. Any kind of visualization that you can add is that much better. All right. And also cleaning. I mean, I know that's not like, oh, this sounds like a lot of fun of having to clean my house. Of course, you're probably being forced to more than you normally would because you're there a lot more and a lot more activities taking place. But cleaning is a really great way of feeling in control when nothing else in the world, when everything else is out of our control. Our home is the one and only thing, really, even in normal times, that we have any control over. All right, and so really taking control, and I don't mean in an OCD way, but really owning and filling your home with your energy is really owning your energy, okay? Our home is the only thing that we have complete control over. And those who live with other people, obviously there is a shared control as well, but this is the one space that you can make changes in, the mind, body, and home, all right? Which, that's the only places. I mean, you could, maybe your car, which is probably the only other space that we're allowed to really be in these days. But our mind, our body, and our home, these are the spaces that we can make changes in, all right? And they're all interrelated as well. And so that was actually the title of my book, Mind, Body, Home. This is where that came from, okay? And so I'll go ahead and mention I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to give away 3 copies. This just dropped, the new version, yesterday. So today I've been promoting it. So the first 3 people who share this video, and I don't know if you can share it while I'm still talking or not, or when I'm done. The first 3 people, and tag me, either my business page or my personal Facebook name, Tisha L. Morris, or my business, which this is on, Tisha Morris, author, so that I know that I know you shared it. All right. And I'll be looking at the timeline. So the first 3 people who share this video, I will then message you and get your address, and then I will mail you, or not I won't, but Amazon will mail you a copy of Mind, Body, Home. Okay? All right. So let's talk about space clearing for a moment. The other big thing to help improve your health, clear out anything that you might not want in your home. All these things are things that we should do, generally speaking. But now that our focus is really on very very specific ways we can keep our home healthy and clear, and therefore our own energy healthy and clear. Space clearing is a great way to do this, and I always like to do space clearings after I've actually physically cleaned the home. There's several or lots of different methods. Using sage is one of the most common, and that's easy. You get a bundle of sage, you light it, and you waft it around. I would focus on corners. But I will caution you just a little bit. If anyone's having any kind of respiratory issues, whether it's related to the virus or not, or a different virus, then I would probably maybe not do sage, okay? The COVID-19 obviously is affecting lungs and respiratory, which that in Chinese medicine is related to grief. Okay, so there's a collective grief going on, and whether you have the COVID-19 or a different cold or allergies or whatever going on, we as a collective are going through a grief. I talked about this in my last newsletter, actually. So because lungs are so up for us, you might be mindful of whether you want to sage or not. Okay, so just go with your own intuition on that of whether smoke in your home makes sense or not. This is actually, I mean, not the virus, but this is actually why I created the smudge spray, because I'm not big on smoke and I don't have any lung issues, but I don't like breathing smoke. And so that's why I created the smudge spray. It's a rosewater base with essential oils that is rosewater is the highest vibration, or roses are the highest vibration in the flower kingdom. So that's why I chose that. So it raises the vibration, while the essential oils of sage and cedarwood clear the air. So you might think about that as an alternative, smudgespray.com. You could also, if you just have rosewater at home, that could also be used as well. Eucalyptus, which is in the smudge spray, is a natural antiseptic. So, whether it kills germs or not, I don't know. But you could also add with it visualizations, okay, of clearing. So I'm not saying that the smudge spray is going to kill the COVID-19 virus, but I know that clears the energy in spaces for sure, and it's those patterns that are in our home that's really the whole goal of space clearing. All right, the other thing I want to mention is I want to talk about decluttering for a moment. For any of you who followed me, I've been a big decluttering soapbox for a couple years since my book Clutter Intervention came out. I'm going to actually, believe it or not, tell you maybe not to declutter right now, unless it's already been in the works and it's something that feels very in your flow. But don't declutter for the sake of decluttering. And why am I saying this? Again, going back to the fact that lungs and our respiratory is really up in the collective right now, and also therefore grief. Decluttering can really stir up that stuff. Okay, it can literally do it with dust. Okay, but when letting go, it can be actually either really good or really bad. Okay, so only declutter if you're doing it very consciously. Okay, and really going through the emotions, because really decluttering is actually grief. I mean, even if it's just a sweatshirt from college, it's a form of grief and letting that go, acceptance of that time is in the past. That's really what decluttering is grief. And so in some ways it's the perfect time to decluttering if you're super conscious about the process. But if you're just feel like you should clean out the garage for the purpose of cleaning out the garage, you might just give it a second thought, okay? And really go through the motions of doing it through an emotional lens. And my book Clutter Intervention is well, I'm actually also giving away Clutter Intervention course on my website, and that really takes you through the steps as far as moving through things emotionally, and not just putting in a bag and putting in your car for one day when the Goodwill is open again. It really gets to the root of why you hold on to what you hold on to, and that is actually a great process to be going through right now. All right, so that you can find that on my website. Under my courses, if you go to, let's see, if you go to, I had it front and center on my website the other day, and now I've changed it. If you go to shop, the shop tab, there'll be a drop down, and under there you'll see Clutter Intervention course, okay? So that is free. And it's 4 modules of and really understanding the psychological root of why we hold on to what we hold on to. So that would be a great thing to listen to or to work through. There's a workbook that goes along with it with prompts and journaling questions as well. Okay, so I hope this has given you some things to think about. Again, my book Mind, Body, Home it's available in Kindle and in print through Amazon. The first 3 people who share this video will receive a copy from Amazon. It might take longer than it usually takes for Amazon books to get to you, but it will get to you. And yeah, so if you have any requests for topics that you would like for me to discuss in the future, I'd be happy to. Now that, as long as we're home and have some time to, theoretically some time, right, to look at these things, I'm happy to help you guys move through ways to improve your home. So any questions, also I'm happy, and happy to talk about it. It doesn't have to be about the healthy home. It could be about anything. So if anyone has any questions, I'm here for at least a few more minutes. So yeah, if you joined late, I talked about the health Gua. I'm using the word Gua for those who are not familiar with it. The word's G-U-A. It's short for Bagua, the Bagua Map in Feng Shui. So the health section in the very center of your home. And so I gave tips on boosting that area with the earth element, the fire element, and the metal element. All right. So I hope everyone's doing well out there. And stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. All right. So everyone have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much.